Okay, hello everybody and welcome to a WordZoo German clock demo. Today we're going to be looking at usability and let's focus today on the German language. So this is a German language learning tool as well as just a fun watch to have that describes the time in a very natural way. So the way you get into the German language functions of the watch is through the widget. So any work you do by clicking on the widget. You create configurations, they automatically get copied over to the smartwatch, and that's how the whole system works. So let's create a new, here for starters we have official time, Offiziellzeit, and Umgangssprachlich, which means colloquial. So if we click on colloquial, es ist 9 vor 5 am Nachmittag, or in English, it's 9 before 5 in the afternoon. And you see that gets reflected immediately in the smartwatch as well, or the official time, which is es ist 16 Uhr 52 Minuten. This is like anybody who's as old as I am who would have a telephone used to get the time by calling the phone and calling the time service. This would be like what you'd hear on that when they'd say after the tone the time shall be 6:15. Beep. That's this kind of language here. So es ist 16 Uhr 52 Minuten, which is it is 16 o'clock or 4 o'clock, 52 Minuten, 52 minutes. And you can see the time displayed up there as well. So those are the basic defaults. You can't edit or delete these. Those are the default settings. But you click New Clock, and here we can start to play with German time and really enjoy it. So the base time you see there, 15 for fear, and you see the time in digitally, and you see the time in words. And then you can add components. So as you're learning German, or if you're already a native speaker, you already know all this, you can add the components of the time language that you really want or that you're interested in. So es ist, it is 15 for fear. If you didn't know what es ist is, you click the little light bulb, and based on your phone language, we support Russian, English, and traditional Chinese, and of course German. You'd see it. What es ist is a description of it. Add the prefix it is. Okay, so then there's the option to have minutes, hours, and then just before the hour, kurz vor Uhr, kurz nach Uhr. These are the basic settings, and immediately it gets updated up here, so you can see immediately what the language is and what the digital time is. And you can always go to the digital time and change it a little bit just to see how that would be reflected based on the current settings. So es ist 9 Uhr. Then in German, there's a few other sections here. In German, there's a lot of language around the half hour, just like there is in English. It's 5:30, or it's that kind of a thing. So we have halb and then the next hour. So that's the basic way to do it. You say halb 10, half 10. 9:30 is half 10. Es ist halb 10 Uhr. 5 vor halb, 5 nach halb is 5 before half, 5 after half, etc. 10 before half, you can use those, and as soon as you select it, you get an example. So if you choose 10 nach halb, that's now a setting that you're using, and we give you a time that will immediately show how that's exercised. So if it was 9:40, you'd see es ist 10 Minuten nach halb 10. So, and I should mention, in different areas, in Germany and in Austria and Switzerland, in different areas, they use different components here. So these are all natural, and if you have any combination here, you're guaranteed a nice natural sounding language, but it might be more common in one area versus another. In Oberösterreich, they often say Viertel über. So Viertel is the 15 now. So 9:15 in the evening, 21:15. Es ist Viertel über 9, they would say. You could also commonly say Viertel nach. It's a 15 after 9. But then there's this other way to use 15, which is just Viertel. And that's Viertel in the next hour. So again, it's like halb. It's just Viertel 10 now. Kurz vor, kurz nach, 5 vor, 5 nach, Viertel 10. Okay, and then same thing with dry Viertel, which is the 45-minute mark. You can say Viertel vor, or 15 vor, or dry Viertel. And with dry Viertel, you have the options to say kurz vor, kurz nach dry Viertel, which is, again, pointing to the next hour. So es ist 5 Minuten nach 3/4 10. So we see 5 minutes after the 45 minutes of 10 o'clock. So you get comfortable with that. I'll tell you, the really great part about this as a language learning tool is by the time you set this all up, you see it all day on your watch, and you're reading it all day. And for those of us who need to get better at reading German, believe me, that's a key. Tageszeit is the time of day. Morgen or am Morgens, they're analogous ways to say in the morning. And again, you can always go to the light bulb, and that'll tell you the time range as well is important. So morning is 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's when it's gonna use this Morgen Tageszeit. Vormittag, I won't go through all these. You can play with them yourselves, but you can see it goes through all the different times of day. And finally, there's hybrid. Hybrid is a certain very natural language feature they use, which is a hybrid. It's official time when it's not a multiple of 5, and when it is a multiple of 5, it goes to the colloquial time expression. So here we are, not a multiple of 5, and we see the official language. Es ist 9:49 Minuten. And you know, they commonly not have the or and the Minuten in there. Let's see, es ist 9 Uhr. Okay, so this is 9:49 would be the very natural way to say that. But then when we change the time to a multiple of 5, with the hybrid selected, we move into umgangssprachlich or colloquial, which is in this case, es ist 5:45 morgens. So there you have it. That's the very natural language here. Now that we've achieved with all these settings and the hybrid selected as well. Save as, whatever you want to call it. My name's Tom. And we save it, and it's automatically selected. It's automatically the selected time expression on your watch and on your widget. So you go back to the home screen, and there you have it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this German language exploration with the German clock. And I'll also be making a video where we look at the themes and making custom themes. So that comes next. I wish everyone a wonderful day.